welcome to Pure Power Panda. Today I have a very interesting topic for you, and it's about a blog post I wrote last week, and it was called Why Vegans Now Recommend Eating Meat. And before everybody freaks out in the comments, let me just explain what it is about. It's about super meat, which is a cruelty-free meat alternative for meat eaters. What makes it so special is the fact that it's real meat from real animals. It looks like meat, it tastes like meat, it feels like meat because it's real meat, but it's made without killing an animal because it's produced in a meat-making machine.
Super meat. What do? Real meat, not harming animals. No, it's not fake meat, Tampa meat, almost meat, or all those other non-meats. It's real meat that tastes and feels like meat because it is real meat, without harming animals. How is it done? Well, here's our science guy to explain.
Our technology allows us to expand cells isolated from a small tissue biopsy taken without hurting the animals. We organize these cells into minuscule tissues and place them in a unique environment that is designed to perfectly mimic animal physiology, allowing those small tissues to organically grow into large muscles, essentially just like they do in nature.
So essentially what you get is a cloned piece of meat with the upside that the animal didn't have to be killed for it. Personally, I am all for this alternative. I think it's a great option for meat eaters. The reason why I'm sharing this with you today is because I'm really interested in your opinion on this. Like any other of my blog posts, I shared it on my social media, I shared it on Google+, and some of the Google+ communities are very active and they comment a lot on the things I share there. And I was actually very surprised by the reactions I got from vegans on Google+. Basically, a lot of people were against it. They were really angry about this blog post. They called it clickbait. They said that people who are for this are not vegans because this is not vegan. I was just so surprised by the reactions. That's why I want to hear your side. I really want to know what you think about it. Because yes, this is not vegan. That is obvious because it's real meat, and even if it's cloned meat, it's still gonna be meat. And I don't think any vegans or vegetarians out there are really interested in eating it because it's gonna look, taste, and feel like real meat. And I, for example, I don't miss any of that. I don't even like the smell of it. The reason why I wrote vegans recommend it is because vegans recommend it. Gary Jarofsky and Freely the Banana Girl, those are obviously vegans. These people are definitely vegans and they recommend it, not because they are for eating meat, but they strive for a world in which animals don't have to suffer and don't have to be killed. And if that is a way to achieve this, then why not be for it?
I want the rape, enslavement, baby stealing, and murder of animals to stop immediately. I would do anything in my power to make their pain and suffering stop. This is why I'm standing behind the super meat, bio-fabrication cultured meat movement, which creates meat in a petri dish, in a building, without pain and suffering, without torture, without rape, without stealing babies, and without murder. I know it seems like an odd solution to this problem, but we have to understand that ethics is at the heart of the animal liberation movement, of the vegan movement. So if we can eliminate all the suffering and all the torture and the torment that animals go through, we have to stand behind that. Now, I don't believe that the super meat movement is for vegans. We already have our stuff. Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, grains, legumes.
Of course, all vegans kind of wish a world in which everybody went vegan, but the reality is that this is not going to happen over the next couple of years. We all know it. And instead of just saying no, a super meat is horrible because it's real meat, maybe just consider that millions of animals could live their life without having to be put on a plate as a steak. My opinion on this is, of course, I would never eat it. I would also be a little uncertain about the consequences of eating cloned meat. We don't know the long-term effects on our health. And of course, you're still gonna be eating meat, so that doesn't mean it's gonna be super healthy and you're not gonna have any of the health consequences of eating too much meat. That's still gonna exist, but at least meat eaters can have their meat and eat it without the animals or the environment or the climate having to suffer for it. Some Something else I came across during my research for this video was something called Beyond Meat, which is also a meat alternative. Compared to super meat, it's vegan because it's only made from plant-based protein, and the approach with Beyond Meat is to actually rebuild the structure of real meat using amino acids from plant-based protein like soybeans and peas.
So what makes Beyond Meat different than its predecessors is that instead of trying to take a product like tofu and pass it off as chicken, it's figuring out what makes chicken chicken and then rebuilds it from the molecular level.
And Ethan Brown, who owns the company, basically designs his meat in a way that it does taste and look and feel just like regular meat, but with the upside that it's more healthy than actual meat.
Once you start rebuilding meat from the ground up, you can do more than just make a facsimile of it. You can actually make it better.
So what you're having right now has more protein than beef, it has more iron than steak, more omegas than salmon, more calcium than milk, more antioxidants than blueberries.
But I feel like this could also be a very interesting option for meat eaters or people who are trying to transition into a vegan or vegetarian diet. My question to you guys, because I really want to know what you think about it. First, I want to ask the vegans and vegetarians, what is your opinion on super meat? Would you recommend it to a meat eater? And of course, I'm also interested in the opinion from the meat eaters amongst you. I want to know, would you eat super meat, or are you too scared of the consequences of eating cloned meat? And what about the Beyond Meat, the plant-based meat? People say it tastes like real meat. If you are a meat eater and you are for the whole super meat thing, I'm gonna link the Indiegogo site for super meat, where you can actually go and fund the first meat making machine, because it isn't built yet and they want to build one prototype and then show how it works, and eventually they want to have this set up in restaurants, in grocery stores, like even in homes, so people can make their own meat at home. I know, again, it sounds like science fiction and kind of crazy. The way it's going right now on this earth is crazy, and it's not sustainable, and it's not gonna work out for the next 50 years. We have to find a solution, and maybe this is the solution. And like I said, not every meat eater on this planet is gonna stop eating meat within the next 5 to 10 years. We need something that works right now, and I feel like this super meat and Beyond Meat, both of them could be the solution to the problems we have right now. Don't be shy in the comments if you think this is totally stupid and crazy. Let me know as well, because I'm really interested, and I feel like so far I've only heard from one group of people, and I really want to know what everyone else thinks about this. So as always, thank you very much for watching today's video, and then I'll see you below in the comments.
We'll be right back.